Hi everyone, I'm hopeful that all you will be fine. In the last session, we have learned how we can get the collaboration devices against the user ID using the Zoom users REST API. Okay, we are continuing with the Zoom users REST API, and today's session we will learn how we can actually get the user's permission. Okay, so that we can see what permission a user have on our account. Okay, so for that we first need to navigate to the constants, and for the collaboration devices we have a get the list using this endpoint. Okay, but if you are interested with the specific device details, then you just only need to pass the device ID. Okay, here, so I'm not building this session, but you can just add the device ID at the end of this relative path, and you will get the details of that specific device. Okay, so we are keep continuing with the today's session, and we are building here a cost variable for the permission relative API path. So we say permission, and we are going to use helper function. Here we say that we need to pass the string interpolation. We can pass users. Okay, and then we need to append the user ID. Okay, and also the user id value will be the same. The other, you can pass the user unique id, which will be a GUID assigned by the Zoom. You can get that detail or GUID from the when you are going to call the, either you can get the specific user details using our endpoint. We have already built a session on that. Either you can get the users list, and from there you can also get the user id. That's a unique GUID. Okay, and you can also pass the email address in. And if you are using OAuth Flow app, either there's a user level app, either there's the admin level app, then you can use me as a user ID. Okay, so at the end you just need to set the permissions. Okay, so this is the basically path where from we can get the permissions of that user. Okay, so now just let's export this. We say permission. Okay, and need to format the code, and inside the helper we first need to import that. So we say here permission, and at the bottom we are just going to build the helper for that. So here we just need to say const permissions, and we say async user id. And when you are requesting with this endpoint, you first thing you must be have a user read admin scope. Okay, either you have a user read scope. Okay, and this API have a limit called light. Okay, that means you can send 30 requests per second, and if you have a pro plan, then you can send 30 requests per second, and if you have a business plus plan, then you can send 80 requests per second. Okay, so let's start to build the permissions URI. So we say permission URI, and we need to use the string interpolation, and here we say API base URI, and then we need to call the permission, and we can pass user ID. Okay, so in the response we will get the list of permissions. Okay, so we just need to bind the const data, and we say await, and we need to bind the access, and we say here URL will be the permission URI. Okay, and method will be get, and we need to pass the authorization headers. We say headers, and we need to copy and paste this header. Okay, so in this token you must be have one of this access scope. Okay, so let's bind them, and we say response, return response, find cage, error, and return error. Okay, and we need to clear semicolon. At the end we just need to return data, and we need to remove this white space, just format the code, and need to export the helper. So we have say permissions. Okay, and inside the API we first need to import that. So we have say permissions, and at the bottom we need to add the endpoint for that. So we say API Zoom / users / permission. Okay, we say async and request response And here we select permissions, result, the permission result, and we need to call await permissions request dot. I think we can pass the ID, either we can say user ID. That will be more better, okay? So we say here parents and user ID, and we need to return the response.json, and we need to pass permission result. Let's format the code, place a semicolon, and we first need to place the breakpoint here and here, and then just need to start the API, navigate to the browser, just request to the localhost port 4000/API/zoom/user freelancer. I'm just passing the email address, and then you can see permissions. Okay, hit enter, and we have a response. Inside the response, I have a basically 31 permissions. Okay, so you can see all this list of permission I have. Okay, so I'm hopeful that you have enjoyed this session, and if you have any query regarding this session, then just please comment your queries inside the video comment section. Either you have any queries regarding any session, okay, any third-party integration session which I have uploaded on YouTube, and if you have also any suggestion for me that I can build for the more third-party integrations, then all those are welcome. So you can share those details via my shared contact details, either on email, either on WhatsApp. Hopefully, we will get back to the next session, and bye bye. Take care.